Hey, what's up, guys? This is something that we'll be creating today. Please go ahead and check it out, and if you like it, please leave your comments and hit the like button, okay? Hope you like it. So hey guys, this is a quick tutorial on one of the newest plugins out there. Is called Aura, and the company that makes it is Rowbyte. There's some things that hasn't been talked about on their tutorials, so I wanted to come up with something that is more useful and can give you like the accurate information for you to start using this plugin that is pretty cool. So let me just go ahead and start doing this little example, and hope you like it. So first of all, what I'm gonna need to do is I need to start a new composition. I'm only gonna make it 640 by 640 pixels, frame rate 30 frames per second and 30 seconds duration. Whatever color in the background it's okay, because it's only for being the composition, and we're gonna be pasting new solids and new things that we're gonna use with Aura. So first I'm gonna create a new solid. I'm just gonna make it pinkish, the same size as the composition, and click OK. So for this, what I wanted to do is I have this little logo that was provided by one of my friends, and they wanted this outline of the logo thing to be created by Aura. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna click this direct selection tool, so I can click the path that I want to copy into After Effects, and I'm just gonna press Ctrl C on my keyboard to copy, okay, and then go back to After Effects, and here I'm just gonna press Ctrl V so I can paste it. You can see it right there, and I don't know what is that bug over there. Oh, it's maybe something, it's an artifact from my video card or something. So what I'm gonna do here is once I have this little path in my composition, I need to redraw this to convert it into a motion path. Why? Because Aura, the plugin that I wanted to use, only works with the motion paths. Okay, so that's the way it's done. So in order for us to do it, we're gonna select this layer, and we're gonna go to layer and then auto trace. This will make our path into a motion path. So we do this. These are the settings that I have. So in order for you to see what you're doing, I recommend you to click this preview button, and then this will tell you what you're doing in terms of what you're selecting and stuff. So when you move these settings a little bit, you'll see how they are going to be changing. You see the line outside turning a little bit of aqua color or cyan color. So I'm just going to move this one back to 50. There's other tutorials online that can show you what these really do, but for me these are the settings that work for this given outline or given logo. So I'm just going to click OK, and as you can see, the outline that I'm going to be using is this yellow outline. Okay, so I'm just going to click OK, and once it's created, okay, I need to expand this guy, expand the masks, and then the one that I want to be using right now is color. You see it's like a little clear orange, so it's supposed to be this one, the number 5. So if I click in other ones and then click number 5, you see how the outline that I want to is selected. If I select the green one, it only selects this little area. That's not the one I want. I want the one in the outside, so it's this greenish one. So in order for me to copy this one, is I need to expand it and then go to mask path, and again press Ctrl C to copy it. And I'm gonna make a new layer, okay, but this time I'm gonna make a new null object. Null object will allow me to paste that motion path here, but without having anything in the background. I'll show you the other way to do it with a solid. It's just one more step that you need to do. So for this one, this null object, I'm gonna expand transform, and then I need to be sure that my timeline is in the first keyframe, so 0 timeline, and then I need to click on the stopwatch for position and then press Ctrl V. You see it pastes all my little keyframes as a motion path now. So in a way, I don't really need this purple solid, but I'm just gonna leave it there for you to show you the second example. So I'm just gonna make this one invisible so it doesn't interfere with anything. And I have this null object. So now I'm gonna create a new solid, and I'm gonna make this one white just for the sake of it. Doesn't really matter the color. And in this one is where I'm going to apply the plugin that is called Aura. So effect, Rowbyte, and Aura. Once it's applied, and if you move the timeline, you'll see how those little waves are being emitted from the center of the emitter, the producer type. So this is cool. So you can change the settings here. For example, frequency, I'm gonna put 30. You see how it's doing other things, and this is relatively what we want. But I'm just gonna move it back to 5. But we wanted it to be emitted from the outline of the text. So in order for us to do that, we need to go to the producer type and change it to motion pad. Once we do that, you see there's a motion pad layer. It says the name begin with pad, but here we have a null. So what we need to do is change this name of null one to pad, something that starts with pad. So for example, I'm just gonna put pad or pad 1. Okay, pad 1. So once we do that, then you'll see that this should be matching with this, and now my aura will be emitting from there, but it's not. Why? Because we hadn't turned this pad 1 into a 3D layer. That's very important, guys. So once you turn it into a 3D layer, now you can see it. You see how it's emitting from the outline? It's pretty weird because right now it doesn't have the correct size. So what we're gonna do is go back to the effect layer where aura is, and I'm just gonna go to the wave settings. I'm gonna change the wave settings to star size. I'm just gonna put 1, and the end size I'm gonna switch it from 100 to 1. You see, and now I have all these little lines emitting from there. So it's from the outline. As you can see, I'm advancing it, and you guys can see that, but it doesn't look that well, right? Because my frequency is 5. So I'm just gonna put this frequency up to 30, and now you have it. You see, it's emitting all that. But then you guys will say, well, this kind of looks a little bit square. It's not as rounded as it was on the logo that we have here, right? Okay, so that's one little thing that I wanted to mention, you guys. Once you go back to your path, okay, and then you check your position keyframes. Your keyframes are compacted in a pretty small way or amount of time, so it's only 2 seconds for all entire keyframes. In order for you to get this one, you just need to expand a little bit of your last keyframe. So if I expand it a little bit, as you guys can see, I'm correcting this curvature. So these curves that I have in my outline are being converted. So they are smoother, and now they look like the logo I want. Okay, so now after this, what I want to do is, if I keep doing this, if I keep moving my timeline, it hits a point where you see the lines and the aura is not advancing anymore because the lifespan I have in my particles is too short. So I need to go back to my aura, to my layer that has the effect applied, and then check where the lifespan is. So I think is lifespan is here. So I'm just gonna move it up to like maybe 20 seconds. So I'm just gonna put 25. And as you can see, if I move this now, it'll go all the way until like 25 seconds. And then it'll continue emitting, you see? It will continue emitting outside of the canvas. And that's something I don't want to. So in order for us to change that, we need to go to the end of motion path and then change it to terminate waves. It will terminate waves as soon as it hits the end of the path. Okay, so that means it's gonna take my particles to live more than 20 seconds And I'm just gonna put this to render pretty quickly so you guys can see it in real time, or render time, better said. So as you can see, the Aura plugin is drawing all the outline of my logo, and it's gonna stop emitting once it finishes. I think right now it's too slow, but for the purpose of just the tutorial, it's okay. So you guys can see how it's working. You guys can increase the velocity. It's right now it's 100. You can put it to 100 and see that it emits faster, or you can put the frequency a little bit up. Okay, and that's it. Once it finishes, it is there. So the logo is there. There's some emission of the particles, so you can see a little bit blurry animation and everything. So I'm just gonna click this one and then go back. So now you guys know how to use this plugin in a different way, just to make whatever logo you had, your outlines you have, been traced by this polygon. So again, the motion path is I started with a null, but what if I started with a solid? So that's the second example I wanted to tell you guys. So now I'm gonna make a new solid. I'm gonna leave the other. Let me just erase it and then do it again. So I have this solid that's supposed to be my logo, right? So I already make this path my layer and other trace. So it'll create this mask for me, right? So I'll need to copy this mask path again, Control C, and I'm gonna create a new solid, different than the last time that I created a null object. So this one I'm gonna create a new solid, whatever kind of color you want, okay, and then make the comp size. And what's gonna happen here is that if you go ahead and again go to the position, move the timeline to the beginning, remember that, that's pretty important, and then click stopwatch and then press Ctrl B to paste that thing. And if you advance, you'll see how that layer is moving all around. But that's not the issue. The issue is that when you go to the new solid, another new solid, to apply the aura effect, I'm gonna make this one black, almost black. Okay, and click OK. And then remember, I need to change this guy to something that starts with path, right? So I'm gonna click enter and I'm just gonna click path layer. So because this one is a layer, that one was a null object. And so this one I'm gonna apply the effect Rowbyte aura, and then this one is already there, but this one I need to change to motion path. Okay, and then it starts with path, and then you have everything, but you cannot see that it's emitting because it's being covered by the color that the layer is filled with. So in order for you to change that, okay, you just need to go to the opacity and put it to 0. And once you put it to 0, I'm just gonna hide this. I'm just gonna hide that, and then this one, make it a 3D layer. Remember, path layer, let's make it a 3D layer. Once you make it a 3D layer, you'll see how this one will be emitting. You see it's emitting from the top. As you see, there's some quick over there animations kind of there. You see it? So that's the issue that you encounter when you use a path layer, like a solid, when you use a new solid instead of using a null. Okay, so that's one of the issues I found. So it's better for you guys to go with a null instead of trying to create a solid and all that stuff. So remember that, it's pretty useful information, because I didn't know that at the beginning, and then I just like ended up wasting a lot of time trying to figure out what to do with a path, with that solid I created, and then paste this and all that stuff. So I hope you guys like it, and that's one of the quickest tutorials I ever made. Please enjoy it and leave your comments, okay? Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.